Hey YouTube! So, second Les Paul of the day this week. This is a Epiphone Les Paul Custom Pro in limited Koa, which I'd imagine what this is. So a bit Koa top. It looks like it's got a mahogany body. Pretty. Piece of mahogany on it, binding back and front, carved top. Koa, I'd imagine. This one's had a couple of upgrades on it. So I'm just looking these up. So this is a 2020 model, so it's brand spanking new. I'm pretty sure it said 20. The serial number starts 20. That makes it new, doesn't it? I think this might be it's one of the current models. Anyways, is that the new headstock shape? To me, it doesn't look very different from. It doesn't look very different from the old style headstock shop. Maybe it's not, or maybe it didn't come in this model. So it's got Grover tuners. Set neck. This one has been fitted with a string butler up at the top. This is like a wee. I think what you do is you take the bolt off the front of the tuner, and then you stick this piece on, and then you take it off, so it will. It's removable without putting screw holes in. I have done a similar thing on a couple of my guitars, where what I did was a similar idea, apart from you get like the ball end off a bass string, which I don't. There was a bass string I tripped over earlier on. Is it still sitting in it? Yeah, well, it's good. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. So you take the ball end of a bass string like so. You cut it off, stick a wee screw through it, and you end up with a wee roller. So I did that. I only did it on the D and the G string on my Shockingbird guitar, which basically does the same sort of problem as this. I can't remember. I think this was like 40 quid, 35 quid, something like that. I looked up to see what it was. These are fitted by the owner. I've just got this guitar in for a setup. It's buzzing a bit at 2 high frets, and it's just like, I'm afraid that I get this. This is the same guy that bought that the Epiphone SG, which I told him to take back because it had unacceptable fretwork. The thing didn't play. It was awful. This one, just slightly buzzy. You know, it's sort of missable, but I still had to sort. It was fretting out here and here, so there was a couple of just wee bits that just weren't perfect. The SG had like things. You know, it was like an inch. Okay, it wasn't an inch off, but it was unusable. This one, you just had if you had the action up a wee bit high, you sort of got away with it. It's also got I looked this up to get the exact name. I just typed in Les Paul Tremolo. A Goldo, licensed by Duesenberg Les Paul Trem to nickel. Well, that's a nickel one. So it's a Duesenberg Trem, which I have actually seen on Anderton's before. And again, this fits on. It basically just replaces the stop tailpiece, so it's completely reversible. I assume there's a wee rubbery thing in below this part, so it doesn't damage the top. So this can go back to stock without damage, which is the same thing this does as well. Unlike a Bigsby, which would obviously you have to put screw holes in the top of the guitar, so you can't undo it. He's also fitted a roller bridge to it. So this is good. This is a pretty upgraded guitar. As I did earlier on, I was talking about the Peter Green mod and the Jimmy Page wiring. This is almost the Jimmy Page wiring, but not quite. So we've got a coil split on each of the volumes. So the neck pickup, coil split, neck pickup, bridge pickup, coil split, and it has the Peter Green phase switch on the neck tone. The full Jimmy Page has a series switch on this one, but this one on this guitar, this isn't a push-pull pot. I did say when I was talking about the other day that this guy, the series parallel switch is really useful if you've got 2 single coils and you can get like a humbucker out of it. That's fantastic. But if you've already got humbuckers, it's a kind of, it does something, but it's not a very huge difference, so it's kind of not worth it. I kind of opted for just for ease, really, just to put the coil split, the phase switch in the guitar I had earlier on today. So I'll have a wee jamboree with this. I was playing a blues jam on the other guitar, but I'm bluesed out. I can't play 2 blues in a day, so I'll work out something that's. I'll use the same drum track though. try it. No, it's not working, is it? Why am I trying to start in C? I'll just start on C, see if I can. What I haven't done yet is go through the pickup sounds. So here we have a bridge pickup, everything at full. And then coil split. Pickup humbucker. And then neck pickup single coil. Both into both humbuckers on at the same time, and then both single coils on at the same time. I would use first I was trying to be single coiling. And then both humbuckers, and then out of phase. In phase. Out of phase. And then both single coils out of phase. So you're really talking about that'd probably be really good for if you were having a jam, like a loop pedal thing, you're trying to find something very thin sounding. But I've not even gone into having humbucker and single coil and humbucker. This is why so there's a lot of options basically in there. Before I go any further, this has got a slim taper neck on it, which my pal doesn't like slim taper necks, and I never really knew what it was he was talking about. Whereas now I now know what a slim taper neck is, because it says on it there. It's like, yeah, it's different from a normal neck. It's kind of, I don't know if slim taper is the best description for it. It doesn't really describe what it is, but it does have a different feel to a normal Gibson neck. I think I don't know if it's a 60s thing or a 50s thing, whatever it was. Is it flatter here? So, I'm not good at describing necks. Maybe you can see looking at it, maybe not if I can get the angle, but it is slim taper. And these pickups are, what did it say on it? Something Pro. So the stunning 60s slim taper, 60s neck, comfortable playability, lock tone tune-o-matic, deliver excellent tuning. So that doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't have that bridge anyway. It's now got a roller bridge, so that's gone. Rosewood fingerboard with perloid, block inlays, 12-inch radius, eye-catching appearance, Pro Bucker humbuckers for that classic PAF style output. Hardware limited edition features equipped with a pair of Pro Bucker. Blah 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 blah. Yes. So have a wee jam. I've already started something. mean the loop pedal. To change that sound, the Joyo US Dream pedal for a bit of distortion. So, humbucker in the neck, single coil on the bridge. Green switch and Peter Green switch. Single coil and a full bump. fretboard. So I've spent more time today playing Les Pauls than I have in the last 6 months. Yeah, so it's pretty good. I quite like this Tremolo thing. Is that I need to get myself a guitar with a Bigsby. I remember trying one years ago and hating it. It's because a Bigsby's not the same as a Strat Trem or a Floyd Rose. It's not meant to do the same thing, you know. It's not meant to go. It's like a sort of subtle. You're kind of meant to it's what it's for. It's not the dive bomby thing, which I think I was disappointed with first time I tried one. It seems to be holding tune pretty damn well as well. That's probably helped by this string butler thing up at the top. The problem with any Gibson headstock is basically this is a friction point, the nut here, so the strings have to pass through this bone or plastic or whatever it is nut, and ideally you want these to be going in straight. That was one of Fender's stipulations when he built the Telecaster. We got one. It's not a Fender, it's not a Telecaster, but you see, same idea. It's like, see, the strings go straight over the nut on this, so therefore there's less friction in here rather than coming in at a crazy angle. But Gibson didn't do that, and still don't do that. So that's what this does basically. Instead of these strings coming in at a crazy angle, it's really bad with the D and the G string because they're coming in at such an angle. They're not running straight through this slot, so there's a friction problem there. It's also got a roller bridge, so when you bend the strings, they do move a bit back and forward, but they return to where they were, which works quite well. So this is an expensive guitar though. This is much more expensive than any of my guitars. Looking it up there, that one's 550 odd, something like that, and then it's 70 or 80 quid for the Duesenberg Trem, and then was it 30 quid or something for this, and then I don't know what, 20 quid for the bridge. So I mean, yeah, fair stocks up. Has been quite an expensive guitar. I mean, I don't know how much you can start getting Gibsons for in that thing, in that sort of range, but obviously the Gibsons you get for that sort of price are, yeah, well, not bother painting it, you get like a sort of varnish, there you go, next, or just ink. We'll just cover it in ink to make it roughly black and then stick it straight into the shop shelf. Again, this one was obviously set up an awful lot better than that SG the guy had. It was twice the price of it, but it was unacceptable. This one, it's not perfect. I mean, if I was spending £500 plus on a guitar, I would want the setup to be included in it, and just that wee thing. And I don't know, I'd imagine because my pal has changed the bridge and stuff, I can't really go for height and stuff like that because that might have been changed. I've now intonated it as well. It was slightly off, but again, I think because the bridge had been replaced and it's not been set up since then, I can't blame Epiphone for that. But My pal didn't make the frets high. They weren't miles high, they were just that bit out. Couldn't quite get the action as low as I wanted. So Chrissy, I'll be over to drop off your guitars during the week. You were right, it was buzzing a bit and the intonation was off on the E, A and D were alright, but the D, G and D, B, G, B, E were too far forward, so they were sharp. It's like I'm getting better at doing intonation now, where it's like I'm not so much relying on the tuner. You kind of know when you're doing a harmonic thing. Just to have done it that many times now, I'm kind of used to it. So no idea what day this will be up. I don't really want to put up 2 Les Paul videos in a day. So here we go. Epiphone. Epiphone Chinese inspection card. 2020 model Pro custom, Les Paul Custom Pro with a limited edition. I'm going to call that a coffee table top, which although it sounds like an offensive term, I've got plenty of coffee table guitars. I'd include that in the coffee table. Not that one, that's kitchen worktop, because it is actually kitchen worktop, but there was a time when in the 70s when I think it was not actually a Gibson called something like the Paul or something like that. I think there might have been a the SG as well that kind of maybe didn't look 100% unlike this from the coffee table era. Yeah, so I'm quite impressed with this this Bigsby thing, and I like the idea of putting it on your guitar, and whether it damages the value of the guitar, that doesn't really matter, because if you're going to sell this guitar, you can just take it off, as long as you keep the original bridge, put the original one back on again. And the same with the string butler thing, if you don't like it, take it off, put it on something else, and then either put it on your new guitar or sell it separately, put it back to original, which is a big plus point with this thing, rather than having to drill holes in the top of the guitar, because let's be honest, I wouldn't put a Bigsby on this, on a £500 guitar. I would put a Bigsby on a, like a one that was already had hundreds of dents and screw holes in it anyway, but I'm not going to be drilling holes into. You'd need to be 100% definitely sure that you definitely like Bigsby's and you definitely want one in this guitar. Rock on!